Hi, Tim Sells here with another episode of Straight Talk, where I'm talking about a journalist named Ellie Flynn. She writes for the BBC in the UK, and she wrote an article about network marketing. And she kind of weaves in a little bit about religion. She weaves in cult, Mormon, and organized religion, and she just kind of throws in like any kind of spice she wanted to throw in there, okay? So in the last episode, I got up to this particular point, and then I was running a little bit long, so I pushed it to this episode. So we're going to continue on now, and let me show you what this is. So I bring this back. Where's the interview? Where's the balance? And it's not balanced. It's the matrix. It's the, how dare you try? She shouldn't have even tried. Don't buy the dream. But my question to Ellie is one of a very different direction, okay? Mine is, okay, great, good. You let Vicky play victim. Good job. However, she still has to leave the kids, doesn't she? What was the solution? Now that you said, oh, she only made whatever it was, 20 pounds. All right, what is she supposed to do now? Is she going to buy a franchise? Is she going to get a small business loan for an average of $360,000? Is she going to go back to school and contribute to the $1.5 trillion of college debt out there? What is the solution? That's what Ellie doesn't provide. I wonder how much she gave Vicky. Right? And said, oh, you know what? I feel so bad about you, and so I'm going to give you some of my money. No, Right? That's not the way the world works, nor should it work that way. What needs to happen is that Vicky needs to get educated, because that is always the solution. Remember that what I wrote in 1999, either you go to self-doubt and then you go into the quit stage, or you go to, no, there's nothing unknowable. I can know this. I'm going to figure out how, because other people are doing it. Okay. All right, so I got one more thing to point out here, and that is, and I know it's really small, you can't see it. It says, however, only 0.02% of these, which is the equivalent of a mere 240 people, are living the actual millionaire lifestyle. Okay, wait a minute. Where else can 240 people make $1 million? Where is that happening at? Is it happening at McDonald's? No, it's not happening. All right, maybe if you're a franchise owner and you own 4 or 5 stores, yeah. Okay, so I just want to, and the other thing that just, if you want to just look at it from this perspective as well, is how many millionaire journalists are there? It would be an interesting view, right? And how many journalists who go to school actually get a job at writing for the BBC? And so it would make herself an achiever of dreams, right? So what if somebody came along at school and goes, you really think you're going to be a journalist for like a major news station? What would that have done to Ellie? So while she's out there writing, she's stealing everybody else's dream, like right out from underneath them. Okay, so pursuing your dreams is dangerous, no question about it. I live on a farm up in the mountains, and there's a hawk that, and I call it Freedom. That's the name I've named this hawk, because whether it's snowing, and I'm talking about horizontal snow, whatever it is, that hawk is still hunting. Okay. And but what I've noticed, because I've got big binoculars and I watch them, and every eagle, every major bird that puts its feet on the ground is in danger, because that's not their domain, right? And so when they go down and they sweep something up, what they try to do is not have to land, okay? And so but it's dangerous every time they hunt. A lion risks death or damage every hunt. Okay, you just, go try to jump on the back of an elk or try to jump on the back of something, and it's an all-out duel, right? Full sprint, the whole thing. And so it's dangerous to go hunt every day. But not pursuing your dreams is also dangerous. They go hungry. And that's why I put the emphasis on, okay, Ellie, now that you have interviewed Vicki, what did you suggest her do? Just not join MLMs? Because all MLM is business ownership at a very fraction of the cost of owning a regular business. It's the point when you really look at what a network marketing company does and you break down all of those tasks and you say, okay, so they create a product. They create the packaging on that product. They create all the legal avenues. They put the right nomenclature on the outside of the bottle. They open up additional countries. They are the ones who are going to figure out all of the inventory control, right? That's how companies go out of business most often. Larger companies are going to have $50 million sitting on the water, floating in transit somewhere. And so what if people, when it arrives there, people don't actually sell it? Okay, so they're going to be probably 8 months before they ever begin to see a profit, and they don't really see a profit until they sell out almost all of it. You see what I'm saying? In other words, Vicki, if she owned her own business, she's going to have to do all of this stuff. And so all network marketing is joining and creating a partnership where I'm the marketer of a product this person produces or this group produces. And they run all logistics, all payment, all legal, all everything. And so it's a way out. It's the very best of the way out. And all you person got to do is learn it. Right? And so I'd say not pursuing your dreams is dangerous. Okay, so this one woke me up in the middle of the night. Okay? So she created this is her writing. Of course, with any business there is a risk of failure, and some people will succeed while others don't. But the issue with MLMs is you are consistently told you can do it when the figures prove that the majority of people can't. All right, so I'm going to break this down. So, but the issue with MLMs, I'm sorry, Ellie, MLM doesn't have an issue. You have an issue with MLM, all right? Next is you. Notice how she completely shifted over. Now she's giving a command here. You are consistently told you can do it when the figures prove that you can't. Okay, so how bad are we that we consistently tell somebody that they can? How bad are we? Oh my gosh, we're so evil. When the figures prove that the majority of people can't. No, Ellie. Not can't, won't. Look, way back, there was the Darwin theory. All right, and I know I'm getting a lot of history going here, but there's this theory that man was basically a maturation of monkey. But there's only one problem with this whole theory. Have you ever looked around and have you ever seen any monkey build a car? How about planned dinner from baking and stuff like that? You ever see them build a heater? Build a radio? Anything? No. It's because that's animal and we are humans. We have infinite capabilities. But we have one primary fault, okay? We can be brainwashed. We can be told we can't and we'll believe it. Okay? That's the truth. I'm not talking from lack of experience. Ellie must have had a dream to be a journalist. And thank goodness nobody stopped her in her path. Right? but she's willing to go down and slap people. And in network marketing, we have a different culture. We believe in reaching down and consistently telling somebody they can, because the matrix is full of people telling them that they can't. All right, that's why we do what we do. And in terms of the figures proving, Ellie, I need you to do your homework on this, okay? So you tell me how figures prove that. How did the figures prove that I did do it and the figures prove somebody else doesn't do it? How did the figures figure that? In other words, how did the math choose? You look at a finished statistic and you say 99% didn't become millionaires and 1% did. That's the way you're looking at it. But I don't look at things that way. I look at it and I go, wait a minute now. What did the 99% do and not do? Okay, I'm not going to do that. And what did the 1% do? I want to learn that. And the obsession to learn that is how every person who's in the 1% or the 0.1 or whatever number you're looking at, that's how they get there. And that takes willing to learn how. And that's what it takes. It's not that math proves something. Figures don't prove anything, right? And the other thing that Ellie did, no, this is what she omitted. And there's no way I believe that she didn't think of it. I don't know why Ellie has chosen to not compare network marketing to other statistics. You see, like, okay, so she takes in a silo, okay, so in a contained container, and she points out how few make it. But she doesn't put it in context to any other thing. And so that datum is kind of like a single penny rolling around in a tin can. It has no comparable. And nobody can make any sense out of a non-compared item. Okay? Like, you can't. That's white, right? Compared to what? That table's black, right? So you got to have a comparison. A big what? Shrimp or a big truck, right? You got to have something to compare it to. She doesn't compare it. And it's because of that that you think, oh, those numbers, the figures prove that the majority of people can't. But yet that company made 240 millionaires. And she doesn't say, oh my, you had to be a shareholder in whatever company in order to make that amount of money. She doesn't say that. You see, she's omitting data and then penalizing that industry. All right, and so it's quite unfair. So, in the end, I always come back to this, but each one has a little bit different direction. So, all businesses have to do this, even Ellie, even BBC. And that is that you got to generate leads. You got to create, contact those leads. You got to set appointments. You got to do presentations. You have to follow up. Not always, but if you've noticed, if you've ever clicked on something and then that ad for that item follows you around the internet, that's follow up, right? And then you're going to get a rep or a customer. A rep is in network marketing. Or if you are hiring people, then that would be employee. And then you get to serve them, and in exchange, then you make money. All right. So all businesses have to do this. Network marketing is a business. We have to promote. All businesses do. Will do this, won't do this. There's no such thing as can't do this. Because each one of these items I have separated out. It's not this big, huge chunk that says, I failed at network marketing. No, there's no such thing as failing at network marketing. There is a failure at some point along these lines. Oh, so you weren't quite sure how to generate leads. Oh, let's get training on that. Didn't quite know how to contact that person and it be cool. Oh, got it. Okay, so let's drill down into that. Not quite sure about this appointment thing. I feel awkward about I'm a woman, and am I going to be bringing my baby to the meeting with this person? you know what, I need to think about this. And you stop, right? Okay, figure that out. How about that presentation? Okay, so there's no videos on this particular thing, and so I'm going to have to talk about it. I don't know all about it. I'm going to have to learn about it, so I don't do it. Well, good. Let's figure that item out, or the follow-up. That is how a person fails at an item. It's not the whole container of network marketing. There's something that tripped the person up. There's nothing unknowable about this, all right? So that is why we consistently tell people that they can do, not can't do, all right? So person decides will do or won't do. And from that point on, there is no in between. Kind of talking Yoda here. So the person who cannot, you gotta look at this, okay? So the person who cannot. The person who says it cannot be done, should not interrupt the person doing it. Okay? So, Ellie, there's a whole bunch of us out there doing it. We're training people. We have single moms succeeding, all right? So, shouldn't interrupt us. We can't stop negative people, all right? So, it's part of the matrix. Negative people from being negative. They're always going to be negative. That's the way that they perceive. And we can't stop supporting their negativity. I'm sorry, we can stop. So what I mean by this is each time that you view an article, it creates a click to that article and they get to show you a bunch of ads and then they make money, right? It's been the same way in television all along. Radio before that. And so it's always going to be around us, but we get to choose whether or not we click on it. We get to choose whether or not we view it. That's really what this all comes down to. Now that you've seen the agenda, you can pretty much look at any news story and you can see that the news, the journalist or the reporter or whatever it is, they themselves have no power. Ellie doesn't have any power. She has to use the power that is granted to her by the person or the topic she's interviewing. So in this case, she's using MLM, Mormon, occult, Utah, religious, weave. She's using all of those things that have power. She borrows that power by talking about them. And she gets clicks. That's their agenda. It's how it works. And so that's what you can just think with. She's not a news reporter. She's not out there telling factual data or even balanced data, okay? She's biased and she creates clicks. Tell me what you think. Comment down below. I'm going to look forward to your comments on this one. I really, 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 really am. And if you haven't already, you might consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tim Sells.